Hey everybody, how's it going? It's the Daily Shooter, and today I've got something really cool to review for you guys, especially for those of you who are on a budget but still want something nice. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Bushnell Advanced Micro Reflex sight. First, let me go ahead and apologize for my voice. I'm just getting over the flu. The entire family got the flu, so it's been a really rough time around here. But let's go ahead and get started like we normally do. We're going to go ahead and talk about some of the tech specs, some of the features, and then I'll give you guys my final opinion on this little red dot. And starting with the tech specs, you're looking at a fairly light little optic here. It comes in at about 2.2 ounces, and that is with the battery, so it's a fairly light optic. It's also a very small optic. It comes in at about 44 millimeters long. The first question that a lot of people are going to have when they see this optic is it mountable on a pistol? And the answer is yes. Is it mountable in an RMR cut? No, I already tried that. It's not mountable. It does not fit. It's just a little bit too long to fit in an RMR cut. But it will fit on a lot of other optics, and if you have a Glock MOS or something like that with a base plate, it will work with base plate number 1. So you can mount this on a pistol, and it actually was designed to be mounted on a pistol so it can absorb the recoil. However, I don't have a pistol with an MOS plate or anything like that, so I decided to mount this on a 12 gauge shotgun in order to test its durability. So what we have here is some buckshot and some slugs and some different things that I ran through it over the past 5 weeks just to get a sense of how durable it is and whether or not it would hold up on a pistol slide. But taking a look at this, what we're looking at here is a 5 MOA dot. It's waterproof, shockproof, it's fog resistant, it's got a nice multi-coated lenses. Lens type 3 hard anodized coating. It uses a CR2032 battery. The 2032 battery, I do not know how long it lasts. I have checked everywhere online. I checked through the owner's manual, and it does say that it has extended battery life, but I don't know if that means 5,000 hours, 15,000 hours, or 50,000 hours. So I'm not exactly sure about the battery runtime. The 5 MOA dot does get extremely bright, so I'm sure that it's not going to run very long on all the way bright, but I'm assuming at an industry average is between, let's say for this particular category, between 5 and 15,000 hours. So I'm sure that it's going to run somewhere around that particular range right there in a single battery if you keep it at like a median type brightness setting. So it has quite a few brightness settings. It does get extremely bright, very easy to see during the day. And one of the things that I like is it has a total of 160 MOA of travel. So 80 MOA up and 80 MOA down, and you could use this for, you know, if you need to shoot long ranges, you could, but keep in mind the fact that it has a 5 MOA dot, and that 5 MOA dot is going to cover up about approximately 5 inches at 100 yards. So, you know, if you're looking at an 8-inch target, it's going to cover up almost the entire target at 100 yards. This is really meant to be something that is 100 yards and within, but still, you could use it out effectively out that far if you needed to. But yeah, so looking at it, again, it's a really nice construction. It actually comes with a Picatinny mount. This Picatinny mount is actually very solid. It uses a Torx wrench to tighten it down and holds onto the rail really nice. And it has a very small footprint. Again, like I said, it's extremely small. So the battery compartment is located on the side. And what you would do is you would use a tool that's provided, an Allen key, to remove this little battery tray. You pull out the battery tray and you replace your battery, you put it back, and the whole thing remains waterproof that way. And that's kind of one of the nice things because you don't have to when you're doing this, you don't have to take the optic off in order to change the battery. That's one nice thing that I really liked about this. Now, you'll notice on this side of the optic right here that there's little rubber buttons that go through your brightness settings. And these little rubber buttons are tactile and audible, and they kind of stick out a little bit so you can feel the arrow when you're putting your finger on it. So if you want to, you know, keep your eye behind the optic, you can feel for which one you're pushing on, up or down, if you forget if it's in the front or in the back. And you can feel whether or not you want to turn that brightness setting up or down. So if it's all the way down and you're trying to bring it back up and you're wondering if you're going in the right direction, it's nice to be able to feel that arrow and also hear that click. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what I thought about it now that I've had a chance to use it for about 4 or 5 weeks. Now, my personal experience with this optic was great. I took it out on multiple occasions, trips with friends, and we went through boxes and boxes of buckshot and slugs and really put it through its test. And it never dimmed, it never went out, it never flickered, it never gave me a single problem. And so coming in at around a price point that I've seen so far, about $199, I think it's hard to beat. You know, if you're going to be using this on a pistol, I think absolutely it would withstand the recoil and it would last. And as far as its durability goes on the shotgun, it was obviously 100%. So it's really hard to beat. You know, a 5 MOA dot is going to be perfect for up close work, home defense, something like that. If you need a little optic and you don't want to spend $400, $500, $600, $800, then this is definitely something that I would look at. You know, I had a really good experience with it. One of the things that I liked was that the glass is not super green. You know, like my Trijicon RMR, it is extremely green when you look through it. So green that when the light starts to go down or when the sun starts to go down and it gets a little bit darker outside, it can actually be hard to see through the RMR. This one right here having very, very little I mean, it's just a little bit green. It might show up a little bit more green on camera when you're looking at it, but for the most part, it is a nice clear piece of glass, good field of view, 2-eye open shooting, so you don't have to worry about kind of sighting it in. You just put that red dot on there and bang, off you go. Worked great. So I'm really happy with it. You know, Bushnell makes some really great products, and this is definitely one of them. You know, this is kind of on their more advanced line, so it is a step up from like the Bushnell TRS 25 and some of the other optics that you guys might be used to. I think the quality is going to be a little bit better than something like that. And I think that they put a lot of great features into it. You know, a lot of adjustability with your windage and your elevation. I don't know what the battery life is. That's my only downside that I see to this optic. But otherwise, being able to fit it to a pistol, being able to fit it to an AR, I think is great. Now, you do want to keep in mind that it doesn't come with a riser mount. Okay, so if you're going to be putting it on an AR, then you're going to want to buy a separate riser mount to co-witness with your sights, or just to be able to get a good cheek weld, because it's going to be really low. The mount that it comes with right now is just a low mount that's good for shotguns, AKs, and something else that has a lower comb than the actual bore. So that's something to look at as well. But my experience with it was fantastic. I really don't think you can beat it. You know, Bushnell makes a great product, and I definitely think this is one of them, especially for that price point. So definitely check it out. Thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe. You guys have a great day.